Hi everybody, Julia M. Spencer here. This is my first live video and I'm really nervous, so bear with me. But my good friend Steve told me I need to go live more often, so here I am. And hopefully my camera doesn't fall over, so if it falls over, just bear with me. I might have to put it back on. It's pretty cool actually. So anyways, today is the day and I'm actually gonna drive now. Yep, it's all just like I thought it would. Lovely. Alright, let's try this again. So, my friend Steve said I need to, I hate this. Before I get into an accident. Should work now. Alright, let's do this. This should work. So, my friend Steve says I need to record more live videos and I need to... Oh my gosh, this is not working. Okay. Okay, you guys can all laugh a little bit here. I usually make my videos with lots of input, a lot of friends that help me with this, but the camera doesn't stay, so we're gonna have to figure out some other way to do this. Anyways, my friend Steve says I need to record more live videos on what I do every day, and today is the day before tax sale foreclosure auction day, which is tomorrow. And so I am, as always, super far behind on researching my properties, but I did do last night and today is I went through all the properties that are on the list, and just bear with me because I'm fiddling with this camera still, but I went through all of the properties on my list and I tried to pick out the few that I actually want to bid on. So we're gonna drive to them and look at them because I want to make sure that we always have eyes on the property before we bid on it, because that's very important to have. Okay, this should not fall over again, hopefully. Anyway, so I'm nervous. Anyways, we're driving to one of the properties that's actually close to where I live, and I'm gonna check it out. And this is what I should have done this weekend, and I should have done this on Friday, and I'm a forever eternal procrastinator, and so it didn't happen, and it fell over again. So I might have to figure out this camera situation. But while we're driving, I want to also answer some questions that I've had, because I get a lot of YouTube comments for a lot of my videos that I have online, and basically somebody said, what is the catch? How can you get properties for this cheap and you get to keep them? There's got to be a catch. Everything that's too good to be true can't be true. So, and I've made several videos on this, and sorry about this is my GPS talking, and I made several videos on this. It actually, I would recommend that if you're a beginner, to definitely have a mentor or some sort of program, or for starters, my audiobook, which you can purchase on my website, juliamspencer.com, and you can download it there. We're just sitting in traffic, so this is good. You can download it there and listen to it and just get the basics at least. Go to some auctions without buying anything. Make sure that you understand the process before you commit any kind of money to it, and watch other people do it, talk to other people, educate yourself, watch my videos, and that's how you learn with time. But basically, there is no other catch, but just with everything that you do in life, you have to do it to get better at it, and you have to just experience it, and as you grow, as you work towards understanding how to read property cards, how to look at properties and see if they're a good deal or not, how to learn neighborhoods, how to learn your area, how to learn how to talk to people. It takes a while to get that down. So I actually had another subscriber that had sent me a comment on one of my YouTube videos, and he basically said that he's been doing it for 2 years, and basically he said a curse word. I'm just paraphrasing here. I try not to use any curse words in any of my videos, but he basically said I'm probably just bullshitting everybody because it doesn't work the way I say it, and most of the properties that go up for auction, there isn't very many because the mortgage companies usually pay off the taxes ahead of time, and you don't even get to bid on them and all this. I have 2 lists in my hand, and there is 147 properties on this month's tax sale. Now granted, about 20% of them have either been redeemed or have been taken off the auction block since I've checked the list last, but there's still way over 100 properties here. It's way more than I can look at in a month, unless I do this every day, and I don't. In addition, we have a city tax sale this month too, happening at the same time at the same courthouse, but basically the tax assessors for the city are also having a tax sale, and so far I've not seen any of the properties overlap, which they shouldn't, but basically there is a lot of property. Altogether there's 147 that I counted, and when you cut them all apart and look at them, in the end you still have about 50 or close that. So there's still about 50 or 60 properties that are decent, and that's still way more. I mean, there's more than enough to go around. Tomorrow when we go to the auction, I'm going to try to make a video. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I will ask. There will be lots and lots of people there. A lot of people there have a very specific property in mind that they want to bid on. They don't want to bid on anything else. They don't even look at anything else. They probably never drove to anything else. They never checked out property cards for anything else. So there's always plenty of properties to go around for everybody to buy one if they so would choose to. And they're not all trash properties. There's some that are actually really good. In fact, we're driving to one right now. It's about 6 miles away from my home. So I'm going to give you a little bit of screenshot once we get there, and then you can see and make your mind up. Now, as we're driving, and what I want to do in the future is I want to do these live videos kind of from my office, from my home, a stationary place, so I can actually answer your questions as you ask them. But I can't do that while I'm driving. So bear with me. I'm going to save this video. You can ask questions at the bottom, and I will answer them as later on when I get home. But let's talk about driving to these properties. Now, when you look at tax sale foreclosures and you buy tax sale foreclosures, you can't go inside of them and check them out. It's not like a traditional purchase where you have a period of time where you can look at everything. You pretty much have to make up your mind pretty quick. This is a go or this is a no-go, and it's kind of risky because you really don't know what you're buying. Sometimes you don't know what the property looks like on the inside, and most importantly, sometimes people live there, and it could be tenants and it could be the owners, and so we have to be kind of sort of discreet. It's not illegal to drive on public streets and look at real estate. However, if you're very obviously not belonging in the neighborhood, and people will know this, you could get the police called on you, and I've had the police get called on me several times, many times actually. Sometimes, you know, I just leave before they even get there, but other times I just talk to the officer and say, look, I'm a real estate investor, I have this list, all these properties are on there, I would like to at least drive by. I don't want to like bother the people or anything, but you have to also be very mindful that you don't know before you drive. You don't know if, well, you should actually know if it's a safe neighborhood or not. So if if you drive there, obviously you would know already what neighborhood it's in. But this is the mistake I made the last time I did this. The last time, and it was this exact same neighborhood that we're going to now, so let's see how this goes. But the last time I drove my fancy, nice, brand new car, my BMW, and very, very obviously, I was not belonging in that neighborhood. And I was immediately noticed by the neighbors, especially because I was driving sort of kind of slower, and I was looking at houses. It was a red flag for a lot of people that lived there, and the police was called on me. So I learned my lesson this time. I'm driving my good old faithful Toyota in this neighborhood, and with lots of stickers on the back. That's 12, 13 years old now, and I don't stand out so much. And it's not like I want to hide anything, but I just want to kind of be respectful. If you're driving to, you know, more middle class, blue collar neighborhoods with a really nice fancy car like I drive, then people are going to think you're a drug dealer, or you're out to, you know, if you're a male, they're going to think that you're looking for prostitutes or whatever. And that's not what you want to do. And you'll have a lot of explaining to do. I mean, I wouldn't be looking for prostitutes. I'm talking to the people that are listening to me that are males that don't want to do this. So, you know, you probably, if you have a car that's really fancy, you wouldn't probably take it to this neighborhood. So, but the bad thing about that is I don't have a GPS built into this car, so I'm doing everything on my iPad, and having to type it in instead of just giving voice commands. So it's a little bit tricky, and it's going to take me a while, especially because I'm also trying to film this. So we're driving to this neighborhood now, and while we're driving, whoops, and my phone's not falling over again, so this is great, perfect. While we're driving, hopefully I don't miss the turn, should be coming up soon. There's another question that came up from one of my subscribers about tax sale foreclosures, and they basically said, so you're buying these tax sale foreclosures from these people, and then if they don't redeem it within a certain amount of time, then you have to sue them to get them out of their own house, and you basically have to kick them out and evict them and all this really nasty stuff, but basically telling me how bad of a person I am for doing this. But here's the thing: if you're going into tax foreclosure investing with that in mind, that you're going to try to grab these really top of the line properties, or take advantage of people that are really had a bad fortune, or maybe just couldn't pay because they had some medical bills maybe or something, then you probably shouldn't be in the business, you know, because I am very careful at the properties that I bid on. I try to bid on the ones that are vacant, have been vacant for a while, that have been in really bad repair and shape. So anyway, I'm going to continue that discussion in a minute as I'm turning right now. So we are, okay, I have to turn. So let's see what the house number here is, and let me just lock my doors just in case. And we're going to be driving kind of sort of slow now, and 2031. So let's see, 2031 would be on the right side. So I'm going to give you guys a quick look. However, I'm going to just caution you that if there's people at this property, and it definitely looks lived in. So I'm going to basically just pan around really quickly, because there's a car in there. It looks like lived in. Looks like an old lady lives there. Let me see if I can turn this around. There we go. This is the house. It is going up for a tax sale foreclosure sale. I'm not going to stop. I'm just giving you a quick look here. It's Looks like a really nice neighborhood. It has a playground on the other side. Really nice. This is one of the ones that immediately came up that I thought I was gonna possibly bid on. Now that one that we just saw is gonna be selling for $2,279.67. Tax years due are 2015, so that means once you buy it for that amount, you probably have to pay 2016 also. It's doubtful that they pay 2016 without paying 2015 first, so it's going to be more than that. It's going to be a couple more thousand, maybe 4 or 5. The house is appraised by the tax assessors to $73,300. It looks really nice. This is what's going to happen with this property, and what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to type in a new address so we can keep driving here. Basically what's going to happen with that property is that likely you'll probably be able to get it. There's probably going to be other bidders bidding against you, because the nice ones, there's usually several people interested, especially if it's a nice area like this. So the person is probably going to redeem the property within the year, and you're going to make 20% on it. It's not bad. You can still make 20%, and if the amount goes up to maybe if it's bid up to more than the starting bid amount, so let's say if it sells for $4,000 or $5,000, then you get to make your 20% on and somebody's coming to drive by here with a bicycle, so I'm just want to make sure I don't run them over. So basically you get to make the 20% on the sales price, which is good. It's a good investment, but you probably won't get to keep that house. It's just too nice. I don't think it's going to go for that amount. So I'm going to look at another one, which looked at the tax record. It looked seriously overgrown. And I apologize that it's taken me a while here to type all this stuff, because I don't have my nice car GPS here with me. And let's see if we can type in directions. All right,
head south on Ohio Avenue toward Texas Avenue, then turn right onto Texas Avenue.
Okay, we're going to Texas Avenue apparently. All right, so what's going to happen is that house is probably going to sell. There's got to be competing bidders, and then the owner will probably redeem it within the year, and you make 20%. Now, if they redeem it on the very last day of that year, you make 20%. But just mind you that if they redeem it after like 6 months, you're actually going to make more money, because you're still going to make 20%. In the state of Georgia, it's 20% penalty. It's not an interest rate. That means if they redeem it within 6 months, it's still 20%, which makes the effective interest rate more like 40%. And the shorter it takes for them to redeem it, let's say they redeem it within a month, the more, in terms of a percentage, you're going to make. But obviously you're not going to get to keep the house. It's just too nice. I doubt that it will sell. So anyways, we're going to the next location, and I'm going to keep the video rolling for another maybe 5 minutes or so until we get there. And I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what I do. And we have to turn right, so hopefully my phone doesn't fall over again. I'll give you a brief overview of how I look at these properties. I don't want to run this person over here. Okay, so the thing with Chatham County is, if you're investing in Chatham County, and every county is different, so you have to research your particular county where you invest. But they give you the list way ahead of time, so you can actually drive around and look at these houses way before I'm doing it here on the last day. But only on the last weekend, they actually give you the amount of taxes owed. And they kind of neatly write them right next to the properties there. And I'm probably going against all traffic driving rules here, but I am watching the street. I'm not going to crash. So it's much easier to see how much money is owed, and you don't have to go into the tax records and look at old property cards or tax bills or tax assessments to see how much is actually owed. They kind of write it down for you very much together like this, so you don't have to at least do as much paperwork. So I don't like doing this earlier because I end up having to do it again. And also a lot of people pay off their taxes at the very last minute at the tax assessor's office, and then you drove to the property and looked at it and made your notes on it and did all this research for nothing because they redeemed it. You know, I mean, good for the people that can pay their taxes. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people around that don't want their properties, or, you know, they're heirs of deceased people that just want nothing to do with it. So the way I look at it, I'm not screwing people over on their properties. I'm kind of just cleaning up what's left. And a lawyer actually told me that, and I was supposed to turn left, I didn't listen. A lawyer actually told me that us tax sale foreclosure investors are bottom feeders and we're scum of the earth. Don't even listen to that. I would not even listen to that, you know. You are doing what it takes for you to become financially independent. I, with my audiobooks, am trying to help you with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not stepping on anybody's toes, you're not going against any laws, you're doing the county, the city a big favor by paying the taxes and starting to take care of these properties. And so don't listen to the naysayers and people that are envious or just don't know what they're talking about. So we're almost at the location. Once we're there, I'm going to give a quick brief overview of the property, depending on if we see anybody there, and we don't want to stop and bother anybody, obviously. And then I will quit my very first live video, and hopefully I can bring more of these to you if they're of interest to you. And this is actually very cool because I actually own a house in this property, in this location already, in this neighborhood. And so I'm excited to see something that's close to, looks like there's a house that's burned down, close to where I already own property, which is much easier for me to maintain. And so far nobody's honking their horns at me because I'm driving so slow. But we're looking at a house that looked like, from Google Maps, from the property record card, from all the notes that I've seen, it looked very much it looked like it's been vacant for a very long time. So I'm very interested in the ones that have been vacant for a very long time. The first thing that I look at is the roof, because they've been vacant and not maintained for a very long time.
Turn right onto Southeast 36th Street, then your destination will be on the left.
That's northeast, so we're wrong here.
Your destination is on the left.
No, I don't see my destination. Okay. I think we're gonna need to pull over and check our directions again. So if they're vacant and the roof has been in good shape, then you're good to go. But if they're vacant and they have been vacant because there's a roof issue and they've been rained on for many years, then you don't want to buy them. Where's that car that was just behind me? Okay. Freaking out here. Okay. 1327 Southeast 36. Okay. What's the house numbers here? It would be on this side. 1327. Okay, there's 5 people standing in the middle of the road here. I'm just gonna pan. I don't know what's going on, but there's people standing right in the middle. And I think I need to go exactly where they're standing. So we'll see. Go back here and see what's going on. It's not gonna work. Okay. I'll get better at these. This is my first one, so bear with me. I don't know what they're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3. This is wrong. I'm in the wrong block even. Dang it. Alright, we're gonna turn around. Okay. And nobody can see me. Hi. Oh man, we're going for a while now. Okay. I thought we'd be there by now, but we're not. So I am wrong because this says northeast, and this is not where I want to go. And so far, nobody's given me the evil eye with this car. So I've done the right choice of not driving anything fancy here, or anything that stands out as much as my other car stands out.
Head south on Live Oak Street towards Fisk Street, then turn left onto Southeast 36th Street.
Okay.
Head east on East 36th Street.
Okay, so I made a wrong turn right over there, and I'm exactly where.
Turn right onto Cedar Street.
Okay. Now we're gonna get it right this time. And the people have cleared the street.
Turn left onto Southeast 36th.
Open sesame. Alright, so. And they're not even looking at me. That's perfect. Usually I get dirty looks at this time. Thank you. Bye. Okay.
Turn left onto Southeast 36th Street, then your destination will be on the right.
Okay, well that's not what you said earlier, GPS. Earlier you told me to turn left. 1327. What's this car behind me going so slow forward? They're probably looking at properties just like I am. Okay, he's driven away. Yeah, so this neighborhood as a whole, not really my neighborhood. I see a boarded up house.
Your destination is on the right.
Oh yeah, okay. So, this is it. Okay. Hey. Alright, so somebody's standing right next to here, so we're gonna just pan around really quickly. And this is not a house that you want to buy, and I didn't think that it was. Let me see if I can talk to a lady that's standing there on the street. Let's see. Alright, since we're live, let's be live. Hey. Do you know anything about this house? It's been what?
Like that for 20 years.
Really?
20 years.
Nobody's lived there that long? Nobody's lived there that long? Okay. Do you know who it belongs to? No? Do you live here? Okay. Alright. Well, I don't want to look creepy driving around, but they're actually selling it at the foreclosure sale tomorrow. So you might see some people driving around looking at it.
Okay.
So, but do you mind if I look around a little bit? Yeah. I always ask neighbors because sometimes people call the police on me
Yeah, go ahead.
because I don't belong in this neighborhood. So, so don't mind me. I'm just going to drive off. Thank you. Alright. She's letting me look at it. Yay! Okay. Alright, here it is. Beauty. I think there's been some fire damage to this one. Stuff on these people's property. She said it's been vacant for 20 years. Not really. But I think there's fire damage, as you can see. Alright, I don't want to walk on the driveway, so I'm going to walk around this way. So with a house like this, it might still be a good buy if you can tear down the building and use the lot. Possibly. Yeah. Oh, I actually can tell you because I have the paper. Yeah, I can tell you. It's very super cheap, actually.
I know, it's like it's been there like longer than me though.
It's 1327 Southeast 36th Street, $2,503.
Stop playing.
And the lot is probably worth about 10, just the lot. So if you can remove the house, you got, a lot. So.
Man, $2,500.
Yeah.
What's the fees?
Yeah. And I usually buy them, and then I just wholesale them to the next person
Right,
and make a
right,
couple
that's smart,
$1,000. Yeah. Because I can't remodel them or anything.
You're right.
So yeah, anyways, I can give you my card. I actually teach, I have like a course online where I teach people how to do it.
Yeah, that's smart.
And it's always like the first Tuesday of the month. So that's tomorrow. There you go.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. No worries. Just thanks for not calling the police on me. They do it all the time. Oh, cool. We can actually walk around. I just keep on filming because we're finding cool stuff. So yeah, you don't want to buy this house for the house itself because you're going to have to get rid of it. The lady looked to be about maybe 25 or 30 years old. Yeah, this is not what you want to buy. But I want to show this to you anyways. So, the yard is kind of bad looking. I'm just going to peek inside real quick. Sometimes the doors are open, but not this one. And sometimes there's squatters in there, so I'm kind of worried about it. So anyway, let's get back to the car. I see when the neighborhood doesn't look too bad. House has to go. Lot. I'm actually quite surprised that there's no abatement sign in the front yard for how the front yard looks. And it's boarded up, so we can't go inside. And maybe sometimes it's open. Let's check and see. No, it's boarded up. Anyways. Okay. It's boarded up, so.
It's a good foundation, though.
Yeah, you can probably, I mean, this looks like fire damage or something.
Yeah, that's all it was, fire damage.
Yeah. Alright. Well, good.
How much are your taxes?
The audiobook on the tax sale foreclosures is $97, but if you sign up for my newsletter, I'll send like coupons out every couple days, so you can get it a lot cheaper. It just depends on when you buy it. If you buy it later, you know, or if you buy it right away, then it just price changes.
Okay.
But you can also go on YouTube and just type my name, and there's lots of videos out there on all kinds of properties. I actually have one on 37th Street, which is just a little bit over there, that I bought for $1,500 like this. We made it into a rental.
Which, you said a house?
Mm-hmm.
Right here on
yeah, the main
level?
37th and Reynolds Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. There's more people looking at it probably. Oh, okay. Alrighty.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you. So I don't know how much she got of this, but lady let me look at it, and I swear I'll get better at making these videos, so I apologize. Just a little recap. Saw the lady on the street, asked her if I could look at the house. She said it's been boarded up like this for a long time, has fire damage. Foundation, she said, looks good. Lot itself is probably worth $10,000. If you want to tear it down, put something else there, that's probably the best way to go. So anyways, I'm going to finish this live broadcast here, and there's more to come, and I got a lot more properties to look at today. So go to my website, juliamspencer.com, subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't done so yet, and check out that audiobook that I mentioned to the lady also. And have a great day. My first video live broadcast done. Whew! I can breathe easy now.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.